ahead and hit record.
Okay. You happen to have the American flag queued up?
You know I do.
Well, nice. Okay, we will call this regular session to order Wednesday, December 16th. This time is 7 p.m. Please allow me to recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, let's get started with the farewell to Councilor Locke and Councilor Carlson. If you would like to make a comment and you are joining us, go ahead and raise your hand and we will acknowledge you.
No, I have I have Christina that would like to say something.
Okay.
I'm going to leave my video off just because I'm not sure about my bandwidth. If it will be glitchy. Can you hear me okay though?
We hear you perfectly fine.
Okay, so first I just want to say to Keith, thank you for your commitment to your community. I'm extremely thankful to have met you through the St. Helens Community Foundation and for your mentorship to me and others who in the 13 Nights on the River event. Constant presence at local festivities and events has brought a sense of connection to the community and their council. I also want to tell you how much I appreciate that you are around in town and available to us. I enjoyed occasionally seeing you walk down the streets with your pups and seeing you talking with other people that live here. Your creative mind was and still is refreshing. I also have to bring up the infamous Flying Eagle canoe and your dedication to making sure that it had a place and a purpose and that it never got lost in the past. I would also like to mention that I hope we are going to find a permanent home for it, maybe displaying it at the library. We all know the challenges that come with the Flying Eagle, so that's a huge thing for Keith to have stepped up for. You have a way of exciting others to get involved in the community, and I just wanted to tell you that your support will be truly missed. Jenny, to you, I say you are the heartbeat to and a huge important piece in our community for something that not a lot of people recognize, and that's inclusiveness. Your willingness to speak up about and find ways to include everyone is amazing. I'm thankful to have met you through events, but I am also thankful to come to know you better through our mutual friend, Laura. It takes a very special person to be a caregiver. You wear your heart on your sleeve and you have a way of making those around you feel important and needed. This is a quality that every town needs in a council member. And I am thankful that this is not a goodbye, but more of a turn the page adventure for you. I cannot wait to see what kind of mischief you get into next. I'd like to tell both of you that change is good and important, and that for moving forward and growing, we have to be able to change. I wanted to thank you both for giving of your time and energy to our town. You are leaving a massive heart print on our community that will last a lifetime. Thank you.
Thank you, Christine. Okay, if you'd like to bid farewell to Councilor Carlson and Locke, please raise your hand. And we will acknowledge you.
Patrick is there.
Patrick. Hi, I'm using the iPad that the city has provided, and I haven't figured out how to do the raise hand icon. So thank you for raising your hand. I would also like to thank Councilor Carlson and Councilor Locke for their years of service. As an incoming council member, I am excited to build on a foundation that they have worked on these last several years for the city finally perhaps reach its potential in terms of some of our development on the waterfront and different properties. And so just again want to thank them so much. I agree with Christina's previous comments concerning Councilor Carlson. Jenny, with her great heart to include all members of our community, especially those that are often overlooked, and hope to continue doing that. And then with filling, well, how can I fill Councilor Locke's position after 20 years? But again, just want to thank Councilor Locke for his dedication for these last 20 years and being involved in helping the city reach the point that it's now at in terms of being able to continue to develop and reach its potential and become a safe harbor and tourist destination and place of great jobs and for our citizens. So again, thank you, Councilor Carlson, Ginny. Thank you, Councilor Locke, Keith, for your years of service.
Thank you, Patrick. Okay. Anybody else like to chime in? You can raise your hand, or Matt, I don't know if there's, I'm trying to
I don't see
look through
anybody
here.
with raised hands.
I know.
I do see some people on here, but
Is the Galaxy tab
that
our
was
friend again?
one of the people from
That's my
earlier.
work. That's my workmate.
That's your workmate?
He does not like the ducks, just so you know. He is trying to tip. He goes, people need to disclose whether they're Beaver fans or Duck fans before he votes. Definitely going to skew his ballot. So
So
I told him he had some hope because there was a couple of Beaver fans still at the city.
he commented earlier.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Does he? Okay.
I got a text from somebody that was trying to log in, but maybe they didn't figure out how to log in. I don't think it's
Okay.
always easy for everybody. It's a learning curve if you haven't been zooming as much as we have.
Yeah. Yep.
But that's okay. It's
All
all
right,
about what's
well-
good for the community.
Well, Jenny, I've been able to serve with you for the last 4 years. Came in brand new, not knowing a thing, and I've learned a lot from you. Everything everybody's had to say is absolutely 100% true. You got a big heart. You definitely care about everybody, and you always are willing to fight and look at the other side of things just to make sure that we're not overlooking and the inclusivity that you brought to our council, and 8 years of experience is going to be missed. And I love your sense of humor, and I love our talks that we've had. We get to definitely, from one counselor to another, you get a unique relationship between your council members. It's just something that is rewarding, and you get to know the person, and you get to work on hard, difficult issues. And man, we have done a lot in the last 4 years that I've been here together. So yeah.
I was blonde before I met you.
Keith, Keith, 20 years. I mean, that is a long time. Keith, you have, you brought in a lot of history. We can always go to the history book, which is Keith, in our council meetings, and asking questions on why this resolution needed to be updated, or what were you guys thinking back then. And you've been on there for a council member for 20 years, and you usually had the answer, or you had researched it and knew a lot about it. So that's going to be missed big time. I'm just thinking about all the canoe and the Sand Island and 13 Nights and the fireworks and you're going over to Sand Island and mowing Sand Island for a few years. And Councilor Locke, you got a big heart, and when I first came in, I said, Keith, I just want to get stuff done. And you're like, that's what I want to do too. And, and that's what we've been doing. And it truly has been an honor to serve with you guys for 4 years. Just looking at the last 4, we got a lot of stuff accomplished and set in motion. And for both of you also, I'm going to tell you this is for both of you. Watching those youth council and their comments brought a tear to my eye. You guys working with our youth council, and it's ironic that even before we knew anything about the election, that we were kind of shifting that youth council to be more into the wheelhouse of Shauna. So that's still going to survive, guaranteed. That's still going to happen. Civic engagement is it's a huge part of what makes America. And 20 years and 8 years is a huge commitment. And again, it's just been an honor. Thank you guys, both of you.
Thanks,
Well,
Rick.
I have part B. I have a go back. It's like, because this is just, I'm not leaving town, I'm not going anywhere, but I have a feeling I will see less of Keith. And so it's just, people don't realize that he was, in the last 8 years, I buried my mom and survived cancer twice and had my husband walk out of my life. And Keith has taught my kids to drive, held my hand for cancer, and has reached out to me in ways that I can't measure. And not because it was politics, but just because that's what kind of guy he is. That is just what kind of guy he is to anybody in the community. If he sees a need and he can help them, that's who he is. And I can't say it enough. Councilor Morton gets to go on without us, but those two men are great leaders and great mentors. And I have faith that Councilor Morton and Mayor Rick, you guys will be there for the new councilors coming on, and we will have turn a new chapter and go to new places. So I think it's a good thing. I think there's good stewardship still on the council to move people forward in a positive way. So
Hey, always good comments, Jenny. Always really good comments from you.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time.
With that, you have a few minutes that I can give my accolades as well.
Absolutely.
Well, one of the first things I want to tell you, some of the scariest moments in my life was not only, I don't know what happened with Keith when he taught your kids to drive, but I had Ben in my pickup out in the pasture, and thank God we were in a pasture when he got behind the wheel, and I was working with him. He's a great kid, and you have really neat children, and they speak so well for you, Jenny, and your motherhood. But most of all, what you've brought, and I'm going to start with you, because if I didn't start with you, I would have to go with Keith, right? And by the time I get done with Keith, we'd all be asleep, I'm sure, because he's done so much. It's amazing. I'll go through some of his accomplishments. But what you have brought to the council is statesmanship. I am astounded of how you can put such wonderful, meaningful words together and work with concepts that we've been looking at, and give such really nice reports, respond effectively to issues. Your statesmanship is impeccable. You are a phenomenal public speaker. Whether you know it or not, you are amazing. And the first time I heard you speak was all the way back when we were doing our, it was part of the Gateway Project or whatever, and it was a welcoming sign, and you were on that committee, and you spoke so well and so effective for that welcoming sign. It looked like a big domino, and you couldn't read it, and it looked like you know, there were icons on it, and I was really excited about that, but not for a welcoming sign. But you were behind the imagination, the creativity of getting those kinds of things going in our city. You still are. Mostly what you stand for, and the big word that I come up with you, is habitat. And not only habitat for humanity that you always stand up for and defend, but habitat, and you heard it today, habitat for the environment, habitat for everything in this that's inclusive to the city of St. Helens. You are a testimony to livability in our community, and you're an icon as far as I'm concerned. I'll miss you dearly, and on our council, I hope I don't miss you dearly socially. So that's my words for you, and best to you, no matter what you're going to do. My thoughts are with you. Okie doke. Thanks, Jenny. Thanks for everything. And now, Keith. All right. You heard me talk about Keith this morning and his warmness and his big heart and his overwhelming ambassadorship to the community, to the city of St. Helens. And he's proud of this city, even though he is not going to be living here full time. All his work that he's done in the last 20 years has been astounding. To me, it's kind of interesting that he is going out in a pandemic, and you came in, I think, in 2000, the millennium year. Remember 2YK and the kind of the worldwide depression that we were in around 2000? Keith, that's when you came in, and ironically, you're going out on a pandemic and two worldwide issues that are phenomenal. In between those times, you have done so much. And so allow me, if I could, just to go down a bit of a list that is here that I know that you have been responsible for and involved in. First of all, you served 20 years, and you before your 20 years started in 2000, you started in 1995 to 96, you were on the Riverfront Committee, and you accomplished a lot of things with that Riverfront Committee, including getting started with the Lewis and Clark issues and ending up with the Flying Eagle. And the totem carving, all those things. So what else I have here is with the department council commissions, you were on planning for 2 years, public works for 2 years, police for 15 years, library for 2 years, building community development for 13 years, tourism for 10 years, youth council for 6 years, paper mill property representative for 5 years, Rockin for 6 years. Rockin is Regional Organized Crime Narcotics, and CEPA, the Columbia Emergency Planning Association, for 13 years. With economic development in our community, you served with the St. Helens Merchants Association for a couple of years, COLPAC, the Columbia Pacific Economic Development District, 2003 to 2010 for 7 years. SHEDCO, St. Helens Economic Development Committee for 3 years, 2007 to 2010. CSET, Columbia County Economic Team, 2007 to 2011. Chamber of Commerce was liaison to that for 1999 to 2006. St. Helens Federal Credit Union Board, 1998 to 2004. Some of your projects included Great Cliffs Park. You helped develop and maintain that park by mowing that lawn and watering that lawn down there, what there is of a lawn. Sand Island Park, you helped develop and maintain Sand Island. The Amphitheater Columbia View Park project, 2005 to 2016. Oh my heavens. Lewis and Clark 150-year celebration campfire and canoes in 2006. And I already alluded to the Flying Eagle carved canoe legacy. For 15 years, you've overseen that. 13 Nights on the River, 8 years. Friday Night Movies, 2008 to 10. 4th of July fireworks, 33 years, 1985 to 2017. Christmas celebration ship, Tree Santa, music and dinner, 11 years. Tourism Committee, Spirit of Halloween Town, 2001 to 2009 for 8 years. Ford Leadership, Crown Seat Trail Scappoose, 2006 and 2007. Sand Island Shuttle in 2010. And then the service organizations. CAT, the Community Action Team Board Officer for 10 years. Kiwanis Noon Club for 10 years. Kiwanis Parade Committee Chairman for 3 years. CERT, Citizens Emergency Response Team, 2005. St. Helens Community Foundation for 8 years. Teen Center Ad Hoc Committee, 2 years. Columbia Center Foundation Board Technology, 1996 to present. Police Board Committee, Chamber Fire Citizen St. Helens Award in 2011, the Police Department First Citizen Award in 2020, just recently, and United Food and Shelter Subcommittee for 9 years. This is just a portion of which the committees and his involvement from the millennium in 2000 to the pandemic in 2020 worldwide. This is what's been going on in our city with Keith Locke. And what else more can you say about his involvement? And so you think about involvement, but it never, the big I, but it was never I for Keith, it was we. And that's important. Keith, thank you.
Thank you. Thank all of you. So
Now, I hope you share tonight at some time, and I don't know if this is the time to do that. Jenny spoke a little about what she was doing, but I hope you can expound on some of, how about your most embarrassing moments in city council or the big shameful awards or whatever. Can you do that?
yeah, so first of all, you guys and myself need to thank my wife, Kathy, because without partners, help and whatnot, you can't really do any of this stuff. And there was plenty of weeks that I spent lots of hours doing things instead of working on my honey-do list. So that's something that you need the support from your partner and loved ones to be part of this and to help volunteer with all this. But secondly, I need to thank the staff. There's only a few there that are still there when I started, but everybody else has come on board. And looking back at some of the projects I did, what were you guys thinking? Let me do that stuff.
We volunteered you.
But it's really rough out there, and sometimes you gotta press the limits to get stuff done. And so I've kind of learned how to do that over the years. It isn't always very well received to start with, but most of everything has worked out pretty good. I have had some projects. In fact, one of the very first projects I did was the Plaza project. And man, oh man, I almost got hung from the trees out in the plaza. Done and over with. So it was a learning experience, that's for sure. but we did end up with the lights and electric outlets out there. And that was my main objective of the whole thing. But the other part was to get a sidewalk around the plaza so that you didn't have to step out of your car and end up in a mud puddle. And that's not happened yet. So, it was quite a project. In fact, we got grants. We had an engineering firm in that got actually award for their planning for the plaza and whatnot. And, it was kind of before its time, I guess. So that's another project for down the road, but, it was definitely a learning experience. And, from then on, I found out that, made sure I had at least a little bit of support for some of my other endeavors. So that would be my biggest advice to you counselors is just make sure if you got an idea and you want to do something, try and get at least a few people to buy in with you so that you're not in this alone. So that's probably the best advice I can give you is don't be afraid to talk to each other and throw ideas off of each other. And, you never know what an idea is going to do. It could spur a different idea totally, but it could all come out in the end. So that's the main thing is don't be afraid to dream and act on your dreams. If you don't try something, it's never going to come about because you didn't try it. So just go out there, do the work and push forward. That's all you can do.
Hey, Keith, how many years did you shepherd the fireworks through? And do you still have any canisters in the back of your house there?
I don't have anything for the fireworks. I still have a few things from the foundation that I need to pass on to Tina and whatnot. But the fireworks, I really don't have any. Well, actually, I will say, no, I do have some fireworks t-shirts that I'm cleaning up and getting ready to pass on to Tina. So next summer she'll have some t-shirts to sell. I going through my basement and oh my gosh, found this 2 big boxes of t-shirts.
I have on my paperwork, you did that for 33 years from 1985 to 2017.
Yeah, well, that was off and on. I just happened to, when I started work at the mill, I happened to run around with Steve Young, who at the time was overseeing the fireworks. And he was kind of a pyromaniac, to put it lightly. But of course, I think everybody over there in the island was kind of pyromaniacs when everything first started. But
yeah, Steve was good friends with Ed Locking. I just want to say that Uncle Ed did serve the fireworks. He was the head pyrotech who did all the ordering for a lot of years.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to clear that up.
yes.
Just so it's
I
not.
didn't oversee it or anything. I just helped out with them over there.
Yeah.
For the
And
few
to
years,
Steve.
the foundation helped with the fundraising and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, and then we went through our what was it, 2009, and then the police had to actually accept the fireworks to shoot them off and whatnot. So it's gone through an evolution also. There's and all kinds of things happen for different reasons. But just mainly want to thank the staff because they put up with me over the years. And it's been fun, and I enjoyed working with everybody, and especially the rest of you council and the whole staff. It's just been a very rewarding experience.
Thank you, Keith. Thank you for your service.
Matt?
The first time I met Jenny, and you can start this again, was on the Shedco. So now that you have all this free time, Jenny, you can get back there and help them. So that was kind of the first place you saw Jenny's heart working for the community.
Mayor Fouquet, I had one comment that was requested on Facebook to be read at the meeting. This is a person someone that was trying to connect and couldn't get connected. So she's asking if I could read her comment online.
Please do.
Says, Ginny and Keith have been a very positive force for our community, pro small business, and very supportive of our youth. I, as a former business owner, appreciate the support you have shown. My daughter joined youth council from the suggestion from you both. I love you both. And that was from Gene Crawford.
Oh, nice.
And if I can do one more thing to you, Mayor, staff, I believe Lisa and Kathy or Crystal or somebody here at the staff has put together a little bit of a slideshow of some pictures. And I've been trying to fumble around to put some music to it as well. And if you're okay with that, I'd like to play that little slideshow of some pictures.
Absolutely.
Okay, so it's supposed to have music to it, but if it doesn't, I apologize, and it will just be some pictures for a couple minutes. So give me 1 second.
God. No, I don't. No, I'm looking at pictures.
I love it. Oh, that was great.
Thank you, Matt.
Okay,
I got
Last
just a little
one.
bit more, Rick, if you.
yep, lots of good. Yeah, go ahead.
So, like to thank the staff for this beautiful card. Oops, my screen's falling up. And this beautiful plaque that you can't see. And I don't know if this is going to work or not, but so they gave me this nice mug, and you know, there's no, if somebody could find the lid for it, it'd be great. And but it's good because it's like instant coffee, because there's still some coffee in the bottom that all I gotta do is add water to. So it's fantastic gift, you know, it's just amazing. But
I wonder where mine went.
but no, that's all joking, but I get a couple gift certificates to my favorite restaurants in town. So thank you, staff and everybody, for pitching in for that, and the nice card you guys sent. Thank you very much.
Oh, great, Keith. We're gonna miss you so much.
Okay, any other comments that before we get out of this section?
I just wanted to thank both Jenny and Keith for their years of service and really appreciate all that they've done for the city. They will both be missed.
Thank you, Brady.
Mayor, I would like to just, I don't know how much more can be said. There's so much there, and it's just been an honor, a privilege to work with both Councilor Carlson and Locke on over the years. And I remember when Jenny first got appointed on Patrick Martin when he passed, and she was appointed to council, and watching her first meeting, and she was sitting there on Facebook, and I was just like, oh my goodness, what do we have going on here? But it's been actually what Councilor Carlson, you've been a wonderful counselor, and you bring your own voice, your unique perspective, and along with Keith Locke, all of we've had a lot of memories together, and watching that kind of all that history walk out the door and all that knowledge and experience go away. Just a little bit emotional, but there's opportunities for new voices, new perspectives, and start to create new history over the coming year. So you'll be missed.
Yep. Again, so we know as counselors that it is all about networking, and we are going, me and Doug and Councilor Topaz and Councilor Morton are going to do our best to the new council to get them plugged right in the network, because that's what it's all about. That is, and the momentum is, we're moving forward full speed. So that's my pledge to you two, is that's what we're going to continue to carry the torch and keep the network going, and just that vibe. Okay, so I know it's not on your agenda, but it's an update from our public hearing. We're going to deliberate the street vacation portion of South 2nd Street. And Jenny, I don't know if you are still here. I don't know if she is. Matt, if you could pull that map up.
I can.
Okay,
I'm here.
you are. Yeah, okay.
Okay. You want the recommendation map up?
Yeah, the recommendation.
Okay.
And then just to highlight for anybody watching what the property owner actually owns as of right now, because it's a weird, very weird parcel. So that triangle there, they own. It belongs to the square lot across the way. They were trying to vacate the whole other half the triangle, but staff recommendation is the corner, the very little corner right there. So listening to the staff recommendation and the public testimony of the neighbor, I can't see a reason not to myself approve it. Other counselors? I'm one of 5.
Based on what we heard in the planning
Rick,
commission, the
back to
recommendation is good.
The fact that this has changed as far as how the city could use that piece of ground, I almost don't want to give up an inch of it. The fact that we keep the main port of it works.
I'll go with staff recommendation. I think it's well studied, and I somewhat agree with Councilor Topaz in giving up property that's valuable. I think this is on a dead end. It would help facilitate the livability of that area, which it's already dedicated for because it's a dead end. I like the idea of the possible viewing platform in the area that the city maintains. And I think the staff has extremely well researched it, I believe. So I'll go with staff recommendation.
I'm good with staff recommendation also.
Okay, Jenny, would you like to chime in?
Yeah, I tried to say that, but I got talked over the top of. So I concur with the Councilor President Morton and Mr. Locke.
Okay,
So
well,
the motion would just be approve the street vacation as recommended by
Correct.
staff.
Yep.
So moved.
well,
I
a
second.
counselor has to make, a counselor has, okay. There we go. So we got a motion from Steve and a second from
Councilor Morton.
Counselor Morton. So we'll call the order. Counselor President Morton,
Yes, aye.
Counselor Locke,
Aye.
Counselor Carlson,
Aye.
Counselor Topaz,
Aye.
and I'm an aye as well. All right,
Thank you.
you betcha.
Mayor, just a FYI, you did skip over visitor comments.
Oh, I did, didn't I? I apologize. Well, let's come back to visitor comments right now. And if you have a comment, you can raise your hand and we will acknowledge you.
I do not see anybody raising their hand.
Okay. I apologize for that. Okay. Resolution number 1907, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of St. Helens, Oregon, amending Resolution 1889, the City Employee Compensation Plan, to change the Public Works Engineer Director title to City Engineer.
Move we adopt resolution number 1907.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to approve Resolution 1907. Council President Morton,
Aye.
Councilor Locke,
Aye.
Councilor Carlson,
Aye.
Councilor Topaz,
Aye.
and I'm an aye as well. Okay, Resolution 1908, a resolution of the City of St. Helens Council to honor citizen engagement and promote community health and livability.
Move we approved resolution 1908 as read.
Second.
And question.
Yes.
My question involves comment about how essential and important this resolution is to our citizens and to our visiting people who come to our community. This is, to me, profound. And it gives also the Parks Commission a bit of flexibility to continue their endeavors in trail connectivity and looking at pathways that connect the parks and make our city overall more livable. So that's what I wanted to comment on before the vote.
All right, thank you, Doug. All right, so I'm gonna call on you.
Aye.
Okay, Councilor Locke,
Aye.
Councilor Carlson,
Aye.
Councilor Topaz,
Aye.
and I'm an aye as well. Award
Yeah.
big contract, 3 McCormick Park Playground Equipment, and 4 Columbia Pacific Food Bank renovation project for J.H. Kelly for $1,600. No, it
Should
is
be,
1 million.
it should be 1 million. Yeah.
There's a decimal point there that threw me off, Jenny.
Yep.
$1,615,777.
Move we award bid contract number 3 and 4 as read.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to award bid contract 3 and 4. Council President Morton.
Aye.
Can we get to
Mayor?
discussion on that?
Well,
Is there a discussion?
I didn't.
You just want to be clear on the playground
But
selection.
it can clear on the motion because you don't have a formal motion in your packet. We talked earlier in the work session about selecting the contractor.
Oh,
and the
Yeah,
amount.
we're
Yes.
gonna go with the staff's recommendation
That's
is
the
what I
second-
had
The
assumed.
second one, the
Yeah,
second
the award
one.
is to Wildwood Playgrounds. So,
Okay,
Staff
Okay.
recommendation and Parks Commission recommendation.
correct.
yeah.
Okay, so that's amended. All right. So I have a motion that's been made and seconded. Council President Morton,
Aye.
Councilor Locke,
Aye.
Councilor Carlson,
Aye.
Councilor Topaz,
Aye.
and I'm an aye as well. Approve and authorize for signature 5 extension of agreement with Polly Rogers and Company PC for auditing services. 6 statement of work for professional services with David Evans and Associates for North Vernonia Road Sidewalk Project. 7 contract payments. 8 master service agreement with Northwest Regional Education Service District for library services.
Move we approve and authorize for signatures, items 5, 6, and 7.
And 8,
Oh, and 8?
yes.
Oh, on mine 8 is consent agenda for acceptance. Sorry.
There's a revised agenda that went out.
Okay,
Yes.
I missed that one.
Second, all the way to 8.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to approve and authorize for signatures 5 through 8. Council President Morton,
Aye.
Councilor Locke,
Aye.
Councilor Carlson,
Aye.
Councilor Topaz,
Aye.
and I'm an aye as well. Okay, appointment to city boards and commissions. I have reappointment for Jerry Belcher and Carmen Dunn to the Parks and Trails Commission. That was,
Move to reappoint Jerry Belcher and Carmen Dunn to the Parks and Trails Commission.
Second.
I second.
okay, motion's been made and seconded to appoint Jerry Belcher and Carmen Dunn to the Parks and Trails Commission. Councilor, President Morton,
Aye.
Councilor Locke,
Aye.
Councilor Carlson,
Aye.
Councilor Topaz,
Aye.
and I'm an aye as well. Consent agenda for acceptance, 10 Planning Commission minutes dated November 10th, 2020.
Move we approve consent agenda for acceptance, planning commission minutes as read.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to approve Planning Commission minutes. Councilor President Morton,
Aye.
Councilor Locke,
Aye.
Councilor Carlson,
Aye.
Councilor Topaz,
Aye.
and I'm an aye as well. Okay, consent agenda for approval. 11, council work session, executive session, and regular session minutes dated December 2nd, 2020. 12, new city engineer job description. 13, account payable bill list.
Move we approve consent agenda for approval, items 10, 11, and 12.
Nope, 11, 12, and 13.
Okay, my thing
I
is
know.
off now.
So 10, 11, and 13, or 11, 12, and 13.
There we
Okay,
go.
Yes.
I'll motion that.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to approve consent agenda 11, 12, and 13. Council President Morton,
Aye.
Councilor Locke,
Aye.
Councilor Carlson,
Aye.
Councilor Topaz,
Aye.
and I'm an aye as well. Okay, from our earlier session, we were bringing up, we talked about engagement with community and all the big projects that we have going on. I know that's one of the items, Matt.
Yeah, you have 2 items. The first one, like you mentioned, was the continuance of a part-time communications person to assist John and Crystal in all of our projects, and that would be to fund it through the end of the fiscal year. And then we will additionally tackle hiring somebody more long-term during the budget process.
And that would come through our community development area.
Part of
Is that
those
correct?
part of those funds to help pay for that person would come from a portion of community development.
It's really about being, right now, we're in a reactive position where we're kind of reacting to things and not have the capacity to be proactive. And we're trying to get to a place where we can forward think and plan ahead and engage the city more purposefully.
It's more about, yeah, so that's why I was automatically for it because it's engaging the citizens and getting them involved, and we need all the help we can get there. We've got a lot of big projects coming down the pipe. Other discussion on it?
Just to be, I won't be part of the budget process this coming year, but we've had multiple reports about how we need to look at realignment and look at staffing and be right-sized in our staffing. And in the last 18 months, we've added part-time here and increased hours and more people here as needed, but we've had no offsets. So I just be mindful of the stewardship of the dollars, and I'm sure that will come up in budget hearings.
We do have an opening on the budget committee, Jenny, just saying.
What?
We do have an opening on the budget committee.
I don't think you want me there.
Okay, would somebody like to make a motion to, we're talking for 6 months right now, and we're going till up to the budget, so it's a half time.
We authorize staff to hire a half-time communication person as staff presents.
And a
Second.
second. Okay, so I have a second. Okay. Motion's been made and seconded to hire a communications as staff sees fit, half-time. Council President Morton,
Aye.
Councilor Locke,
Aye.
Councilor Carlson,
I
Councilor Topaz,
Aye.
and I'm an aye as well. Okay, Matt, what was the other, you have to remind me on the other thing that we
Yes.
kicked up.
The second item was the budget committee approval process, and that
Oh,
was
yes.
to realign it to how we do other commissions, and go through that into new process with the upcoming budget committee applications.
So it'd be just like what we were recommending is putting it out, public notice, like we're looking for people to sit on the budget committee and go through the application process instead of appointments as they are done now.
Correct, and as
So moved.
Councilor Morton made the suggestion to have those applications, that interview process be public in front of the city council as well.
Yep. Okay,
So moved.
okay. There's a motion. I need a second. Okay, motion's been made and seconded to do our budget committee as we do other commissions. Council President Morton,
Aye.
Councilor Locke,
Aye.
Councilor Carlson,
I
Councilor Topaz,
Aye.
and I'm an aye as well. Okay, what do I have to report? Just the Christmas chips was a wonderful event. I went down there and did the drive-through and was able to see the fake snow coming and the Santa up on the steps dropping the candy down to the little ones, and it looked like it was a pretty good social distancing event. I mean, the parking lot worked out great for it. Weather held out. That was a good success. I guess what I can report is, we're still continuing to move forward. A lot of stuff is going on. I'm looking forward to kind of getting back to the basics for us, even to be revised of the basics with new council members coming in. It's never hurts to go back and look at our charter and start studying that. And that is for sure to come down the pipe here soon, very soon. And I'm actually kind of inspired by it, to be honest with you. I haven't forgot why I signed up to do this, and hopefully they'll come in with a bunch of zeal as well. And looking forward, I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and, be safe around the new year. We're 2021 hopefully is a lot better year than 2020, and it wasn't a bad year. We had a lot of resilience in our community, and it says a lot about who we are as a community when we can come together and support one another, and we're still okay right here, right now. Everything's okay. Yeah, it's not the greatest it's ever been, but you know, we're in it together. So again, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And that's what I got to report. That's it. Council President Morton.
Thank you, Mayor. Good words, and yeah, ditto on the year. Looking back on it, a lot of things have happened, and we did persevere. And we're here at this point now, and there's a light at the end of the tunnel for our pandemic. That's very encouraging. Hopefully it's going to create some good health and a good economy as well as we get back. Today in our work session, we heard testimony about Resolution 1908 and the Parks Commission helping or working on crafting that resolution. And I want to give thanks to one person in particular on the staff, and that's Rachel Berry, who actually put words to that resolution and crafted the thoughts and into a very meaningful resolution to our citizens to honor our citizen engagement and promote community health and livability. I think that was just a huge issue, and we go forward. That encompasses so much in our community, and just having something as so simple as a trail and a pathway that people can visit, and we can work from that as a hub to create other endeavors with connections to other parks and other places in our city that are important to get to on foot is very important, I think, and all the exercise that it brings to our citizens and walking, the engagement, social engagement. It's exciting to me. It's very exciting, and particularly the part that's exciting is that it's going to be an ongoing endeavor for the Parks and Trails Commission. And especially when we merged the Bicycle and Pedestrians Committee with the parks, look what's come about with that. A trail system, an urban trail system. And that Parks Commission is so unique in their strategies, the way they go about getting things done. And you heard that wonderful presentation by Carmen Dunn this afternoon. I thought it was wonderful. And I want to thank the council for unanimously voting for that resolution. Thank you. That was very meaningful to many of us who worked on that. Anyway, thank you, and have a great holiday, and see you next year.
Thank you, Council President Morton. All right, Councilor Locke.
So just again, wanted to say thank you to council and staff and the community. And we've got lots of huge projects happening right now. There are towns 10 times our size that don't have the projects we have going right now. So we need a lot of help and understanding, but the one thing I want to talk about is the new proposed police station and how important that is to not only our police force and having a good, secure, safe place to work in and work from, but the community itself in maybe retaining our police force so that they can stay here and they feel good about staying here, because over my 20 years, I don't know what the number is, but it's very high. I would say at least one, if not two policemen a year we've lost to other bigger entities and whatnot, just because we don't have the facilities and whatnot. So we need to retain, we have a great force right now and we need to retain them. So I'm just pleading to you, the council, and all of our citizens out there. Let's make this new police station happen, because it's very needed for the community. So thank you.
Thank you, Counselor Locke. Counselor Carlson.
Just thanks to staff and thanks to council for, patience, understanding, and being there to, answer my questions. And the planning commission will be interviewing. We have 2 terms that are coming due at the end of this year. One has served 2 and part of a term, and the other one has been on the planning commission for over 20 years. So I have asked them, we had to advertise twice to get candidates to interview, and we will be interviewing next week. So Jacob and Jenny will bring that recommendation back at the meeting in January. But, we've talked, we put it in the charter that after 2 years, we would put it out for advertisement, because it's not a Supreme Court appointment.
Yeah.
And we have to invite other citizens in our community to participate. And I just, equity inclusion are kind of have been part of who I am for a very long time before it was a poster and a movement. There's a lot of people left out in our community, and I would ask that in all things that you do, not just people with disabilities, but to look at the dynamic of our citizens and get people that are low income, get people that are retired, get working moms, find other dynamics to get voices on this council to make better decisions for all of our citizens. Because we have a very diverse population, and I just want to make sure going forward that we let our government show that. And just not be, it's really easy to get complacent and just go to the path of least resistance. But there are a lot of creative people in our community that we need to leave the door open and invite them to the process, because it's just not right. And, on that vein, they're part of executive session. There's an investigation going on, and granted, I thought that we would get a report on that today. And I just don't want anybody to drop the ball on that, because it's important that we set policy and set precedent so our employees and our staff and our citizens feel safe and feel protected in their job and in their volunteer efforts. And I just don't want to see that get left by the wayside, because people need to work in a safe and accepting environment. And just my little rub to John Walsh, this little squirrel's going to take her nutty ideas somewhere else. I was always telling him about the Squirrel Fest in Longview, and he goes, "What nutty ideas do you have?" So I'm going to take my nutty ideas elsewhere. So that's all I have.
All right. Thank you, Jenny. Counselor Topaz.
2 things, partially having to do with the health and community. The library staff and library committee this last year has really done an incredible job, having to basically change directions to try to keep serving the community when you're not going to allow the community into the library. And they've done quite a good job about changing footsteps and still getting the job done. It also gave the library the chance to redo a number of things within the building, because people weren't in there, and we've extended the STEM process quite a bit. Now, some of the redoing of what we did, reading for children, the library now got hooked up with the recreation department, and we had a lot of these different projects in the park. Possibly when the pandemic goes away, these things will go away. I hope not. I hope we have both programs, we'll call normal programs, and the ones we learned how to do. We are also at this time going through some of the rules and laws of how you operate the library system, because some of them were written 30 or so years ago, and it's time to update as we're doing other places in the city. And some of the things are absolutely silly when you look at them in today's context. So the other thing to note about our library system, the people read and they communicate. And fortunately, Margaret with her communication skills and horizons, was able to, I would say, perceive how bad the pandemic's going to get in last January, long before the political forces of the US had an idea how bad it was going to get. And her staff reacted surprisingly strongly and with a lot of foresight into how to handle it. The one thing we could not do, which we have classically done, is give a warm place during the day for the homeless, which would come in and use the library. And that's a piece that we could not do. And we have to worry about those people. So they really have done quite a job, even though they've done the job that they had to do, even though the way they had to do it was quite different. The second is a kind of a comment or a worry to John Walsh. The fact there's so much investigation going on into the water and the waste products along our waterfront by the mill, having monitored a number of the processes in downtown Portland, it can go sideways real quick. So we need you big time to keep your hand on it and keep the words coming to the council. One of the problems is that in many cases in Portland, the city has nothing to do with what's happening. It's only the DEQ and the owner of the property or the past owner of the property. So when you talk about a complicated government project, that's what this is. So John, really keep the council up to date and anything you can do to find out what's going on. And this is just going to be a mess, but we could lose that whole waterfront if they follow some of the procedures that they've used in Portland. That's what I've got to say.
All right. Okay, other business, because it's on my any go backs before. Okay.
Sure,
I'm
I've
not-
got to go back. I just want to welcome the new council members on board for their next session, and they've got tough boots to fill. So, Mayor, I agree with you that we get together as a group and start the new.
Yep. Passing of the baton and new visions, and that's what the democracy. It's the beauty of America. That's what keeps it checks and balances. So, all right. With that, we are adjourned.